Hello, everyone, and welcome to Venita's podcast. I want to thank you for spending your time with me today. I really appreciate that. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Carmen Nieves, and she wears so many hats. I'm sitting here actually thinking about the one I want to start with. So I think I'm going to start with her latest venture, which is Vima Row and Company, which she named after her grandson. But she is just the most awesome community leader I have ever known, with all due respect. I know she's got like over 15,000 hours of community service. There are so many people that know her from so many walks of life. She's done so many things, and we just appreciate you so much. I mean, you're a blessing to have in our community. So, welcome to the show, Carmen.
Venita, thank you. I just think that you're amazing and you're somebody that really works on helping others. So early on when we met, we connected. So listen, what you're saying about being right back at you too, because I just think you're amazing. And you've
Well,
got many shows, you wear many hats, and really about helping the community create legacy for their family. And in a way, we've connected over that because my company is a legacy to my grandson to help my grandchildren. So the company, I started it a couple years ago,
mhm.
kind of like out of my house, and it was really out of trying to process grief and loss after the loss of my grandson. And we made a community bench where the whole family made it, my grandchildren and everything. And in
Oh,
sharing our grief and loss story, it just turned into like something that people were interested in. So now, with the help of some friends and some amazing community people, we are in 5,000 square feet. So we're
wow.
kind of like a training, you know, workshop space. So by category, we're a co-working, co-making space,
Hmm.
where our businesses and our artists that are members can either work there, create there, and sell there.
Oh, my goodness.
So, and we're right in the heart of Bridgeport, right downtown. If you don't know where you're going, you won't find it because we're so new. We don't have any signs or anything like that.
Uh huh.
But in really, in today, I was excited about having the conversation about public service and how this, people say a lot of things about Bridgeport,
They do.
but there's so many incredible people and organizations that are based and work here, and live here that, you know, in this climate, we have to really heavily rely on that because I think on a lot of programs that funding is going away, people are scared about their jobs. So we have to keep people engaged. And I will tell you, it's so funny that you mentioned how many hours. I want to mention that that's been over like the last 25, 30 years because we don't think about that. And I
Yeah,
added it
you
up and
just
I'm
do
like,
it.
listen, I've been with the Puerto Rican Day Parade, with community rescue teams.
The
I've been with
workplace. Oh,
Workplace Dress for Success, Career Resources. I've gotten many awards for my work, and I kind of don't really shine a lot of work on that, just about what I do and how we help other people. But it's so important. I will tell you, I don't know about you, but a lot of people tell me that they get engaged because they're asked. I'm like, so
right.
all I had to do was ask,
That's
and
it.
I don't know how to say no, so that's part of the problem. So what has been your experience with working with the community?
Well, one of my greatest experiences is sharing information. So the community, Bridgeport, I'm from Bridgeport, the east side of Bridgeport, and where I came from, there wasn't a lot of information. So that's my passion. So I bring you on, I bring other people on to talk about reverse mortgages, voting, real estate, insurance, everything, so that everyone can get as much information as possible. And with that information, they can benefit from that. They have choices. And so that's what brought me here. And I know that, I am just so grateful to God that I have my own podcast. I love saying Venita's podcast.
And you look very cute with your headphones. I hope I do too.
Thank you. You do. And, with the help of David Goodman implementing that platform, enables me to provide information to our community. People actually call me. And I know the information is valuable. Like, I'll just give you a quick example. When we had the absent balance, well,
Yeah,
during
yeah.
COVID, a lot of folks did not know you had to sign the outside of the envelope and the inside. So little things like that makes a difference. Your vote wouldn't count if you didn't sign it in both
No, I
places.
didn't even know that.
So
Wow.
I didn't know that either, but I brought somebody on. I brought Immaculate Can on. She, gave
She's
us
great.
all the 411. She is awesome.
She's
She
great. And
really
she
is
was,
awesome.
I think she was not this year, but last year's Juneteenth parade,
Grand Marshal,
Grand
yeah.
Marshal. And she's great. I have to tell you, I took her picture.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, we're gonna do this for 15 minutes. We were in there almost 2 hours. She brought all kind of like dresses and jewelry and headpieces because she really likes headpieces and
Yes. Oh,
things like
yes.
that. So it's just when you have an opportunity and not only to see people for what they do, but the way they give back.
Mm-hmm.
Our people are so passionate.
There's so much love in Bridgeport.
There
And,
really is.
a lot of folks just talk about like the negative things. There's negative things happening everywhere. That's the world we live in. But if you stop and talk about all the love and all the community service and all of the wonderful people, it supersedes the things that are happening. It really does. And it's people like you, and you deserve to be honored for that. So just saying that, I think you have something coming up.
Well,
Could you
thank
elaborate a
you.
little bit on
So
what I
thank you.
heard? I just don't want it to be a rumor.
Oh God, oh God. So I left the workplace family
Hmm.
about 7 months ago, but they still remain. When you work someplace that you just really believe in the work that they do and
Hmm.
that bringing that to the community is so important. I'm still connected to them. So, one of the many programs that they run is called Dress for Success. And they help women make what we call tailored transitions. So,
Okay.
when they're getting ready to go to training, a job interview, we're going to be a guest on your show to kind of really deep dive into that.
Okay.
But in that capacity, volunteers and raising capital to run programming is so important. So every year they have an annual celebration where they celebrate women in the community for the difference that they're making in the world, and it's called the Empower Her Award. And I am the recipient this year. The event is May 6th, and it's going to
Okay.
be at Boca Oyster Bar.
Oh, okay.
Which
Congratulations.
thank you, which is in Bridgeport, and I think we'll be sharing some of that on the Soundview on
Okay.
their bulletin board where people can get tickets.
PSAs. Yep.
But I will tell you what I really, really want to talk about is all the ways that individuals can help this organization. Whether it's because we were talking about before the show about how you're familiar when people do drives,
Right.
right? And they have been partners with many organizations and things, but there's easy ways that individuals can help out. One of them is to coordinate a clothing drive. I will tell you that I'm a big girl, so they tend to get a lot of smaller sizes, and every now and then they have like they're able to like clear out their
Yeah.
inventory, so they make it available to the community. But the only way to kind of get services is by being referred by a
So
qualifying
so
organization.
when you do these clothes drives, are they new clothes, slightly used
Thank you for that
clothes,
question.
or
They definitely can be, slightly loved and worn, but they do ask that they be dry cleaned and clean because they're going to women that
mm-hmm.
really are looking to either go get back to work, they have an interview. And the great thing is that if they're getting an interviewed and they're referred by an agency, they get a whole interview outfit, jewelry,
Ooh.
shoes, brand new pantyhose,
All the
the whole
accessories?
a handbag, shoes, you name it. Not everything
Yeah.
is new,
Uh-huh.
but it really like there's been like Jones New York and some other names that I'm like, I can't even afford that in real life.
That's true. I know
But
what you mean.
and they look incredible, and
Yeah.
they get like a volunteer role also is to be like a personal shopper. I
Okay.
can't dress myself like you see. I came all in black and white because if they don't color coordinate, I don't know how to do it.
Right.
And I'm like at a point where I just want to be comfortable.
hmm
The organization that I run now, a lot. You look great. Like you
I'm
look.
I'm
Listen,
comfortable.
but and you look
It's
great.
like a sweatsuit. Thank
I
you.
don't know how to look good and be comfortable. So they have uh, personal shoppers that'll work with a woman and be like, these are the colors that look good for you.
Oh,
That
okay.
help, just like you're at a store. I
Uh
mean,
huh.
you have to see the whole place looks like a boutique. So they have like personal shoppers. They've had women that come in and donate services like taking a picture of the women or
Oh, okay.
hosting a professional development event. So I don't know the specific Dress for Success email, but if you go through the workplace, www.workplace.org,
Uh huh.
and go under their program tab, you'll see all the programs that they offer. And take a look at Dress for Success. They have special events, but this event brings together all the women that support the organization, that have had any role. I used to work for them. I used to be their director many, many, many moons ago.
Is
But
there anything you haven't done? No.
I
That
mean,
sounds
and I will tell
wonderful.
you,
I
it's
mean,
it's it's funny, right? That people think, oh, you're so involved. I wish I could tell you that that's how I started. So I came when we've had this conversation
yeah.
before. You know, I was married, pregnant, and a dropout at 17. I went back to college when my daughter was 16, right? And in Bridgeport. I remember that I applied at Career Resources because I had been helping in other places and just to be able to be involved. There was an organization called Pearl, and it worked with parents to develop leadership. But two things, they had dinner and childcare. I'm like, I don't know anybody here, so let me go. So then,
Food is the ultimate
listen,
incentive. Just
listen, I don't
food.
have to cook, right? So there's these organizations that would, I didn't know
Support
anybody.
women that with services
And
that we
bring my
all
kids
need.
and bring my
Yes.
kids.
Yeah.
So I would just start like volunteering or just being in the room and different things, and then people would ask me to volunteer. I can't even, the list is, when I tell you, the list is so long, but what's important that people can help by donating. People can help by, like for us, we take in my organization, Vima Rowing Company, part of the piece that we make commemorative piece. We have like a warehouse, and people give us furniture, household goods, and we sell those, and that's how we are able to like pay the rent and pay the utilities. So there's so many ways that people can help, Vanita, that just go and speak. There's people that I don't want to call it testifying, but they share their recovery story, or they man a table somewhere, or they just help set up or clean up. There's so many, and I've done all those things.
Just
Um,
being there. It sounds like just being there
listen,
and
and you
seeing
get to
what
know
needs to be
people,
done.
and you
Yeah.
get to know people. Listen, I've landed jobs, not even looking, but people see you be involved. So there is a real benefit to civic engagement. That's why our show, Connecticut at Your Service, talks about that. And it's not only about who the person is, but and what their business is,
It's
which is
about what they
important.
do,
It's
isn't it?
important about how they give back, and what I've noticed in my work, because we do a lot around grief and loss, like art workshops and things like that, that people that overcome become real champions. They've started scholarships. They've, you know, raised money for organizations. We made a bench for a dad that lost his son, and they made it's a 10-foot Adirondack chair that
Wow.
sits in Blackham
I,
School.
did I see that at your place? I think
There were
so.
pictures
Okay.
of
All
it we
right.
have. Yeah, so it's a
That's
10-foot
amazing.
Adirondack. So, and it's funny because that too ties to the station, because the dad, funds that he would have raised for his son's passing and funeral, I think he raised something like 16,000. He gave it to a little league team. So they wanted
What?
to honor him with a bench.
Uh huh.
So we
So he gave.
coordinated that.
Uh
The
huh.
family came and painted it. And then we hired Ricky, who you know from Soundview, who's an amazing artist, and we
Artist. Yes.
commissioned him to do custom artwork on it. So now
Wow.
it's a community piece that too has a legacy. Have
Look
you
at
ever
that.
had any of your guests that kind of like involved? Because I could talk about this all day.
Well,
So
I mean, I had this. Well, I'm part of the National Council of Negro Women. I'm the second vice president, and I'm in charge
awesome.
of, the chair, membership chair, recruiting people. And once a year, we have a Founders Day fundraiser luncheon, and we honor five people. One of the people that we honor is a youth, somebody in high school going to college. So yes, I did have this one little girl on my show. Well, not little girl, young lady.
Young lady.
I believe she went to the spelling bee. But anyway, what she did, she was an artist. She did murals all over the city for
I
free
love
with
that.
her own time. So that was her way of giving back, her creative
I
way of
need
giving
her.
back. And well, she's in college now. I think she went to Albany. She's somewhere in New York, but I can look her up because I have her in the book. But she does murals, and she was in high school and she started her own business. She was amazing. So I run into so many
Me
people.
too.
I mean, I can't even think about the ways that you're just somewhere. Like the David Goodman show, for example. My cousin invited me on to talk about Medicare. And look at me now. Here we go. 11 years later, 10 years later, they were on State Street.
Listen, we don't know.
You
We
don't know
don't
what you don't
know
know.
where. Yeah, and we don't know where we're gonna land. But
Yeah.
I tell people, listen, if you're interested in anything, don't recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
Most people go and volunteer because somebody's
Exactly.
asked.
Yep.
I can't even tell you how many times I have asked my friends, my family, and other people to help me.
Your family's
I
loyal.
can't.
They're so loyal.
I can't. I'm like, listen, I can't pay you. I pay you with love and affection.
That's
I
it.
said, but I love being around people who love what they do
You're a
because
people's
that's
person.
infectious.
Yep.
Whether it's cleaning a street or, I want to just again talk about this dress for success because I really hope that our listeners, because we'll be talking about this a couple more times, that they get involved. This organization is amazing. Some of the sponsors and donors are men, but mostly it's a women empowering
But they
organization.
can come. They can come
Listen,
to the
listen,
event.
their money spent too. You
We just
know,
don't have any dresses for you, though.
but through the workplace's network of partners, they
Hmm.
do have a program that does serve men,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
I'm
called
sure.
Stephanie's Closet.
I was just joking.
So listen, anything that helps people be
Hmm.
educated, maybe they get their high school diploma, learn an occupational skill,
Just be a
be a
mentor,
veteran, a
be a big
youth.
sister, big brother.
So
So they can reach out to you on your website, you said?
So if they want to volunteer for us, and
Hmm.
thank you for saying that because we're actually looking for volunteers. We have a retail store.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in retail, and it's not your typical because we got a grant from the city to make some custom
Ooh,
display
you're
for
amazing.
businesses.
You're amazing.
We've gotten some grants from way back from the Worth Center to
Hmm.
make keepsake boxes for families. We've gotten some benches donated by local retailers. So we're always looking for furniture that people in good condition that we could sell. We're always looking for items, business items like desks, you know,
Chairs.
chairs, and we sell all of that. Excuse me. But we have a retail store, so we're going to be hiring some summer youth in the summer through the workplace
Oh,
because
okay.
I think they're such an amazing resource for the
Hmm.
way that they can help if people have special abilities or they're veterans or they're in recovery, reentry. That's kind of like a one stop place for them to get training and resources that could lead to Dress for Success. However, if an organization wants to refer a client, they have to be a member. I don't think there's a fee for that, but all that information is on the website.
Okay.
Once they're a referring agency, all they have to do is refer, let the organization know this person has an interview and a job. Once they have a job, they get a whole wardrobe for a whole week
Oh
of
my
work
goodness.
that a personal shopper will help
Oh.
them mix and match. So
Uh-huh.
you could get like a month out of like one week's complete worth
Yeah, but you're
of clothing.
coordinating different things. That sounds like so much
Listen, I'd
fun.
be like, I want to be back to being a client. And then they have a group called the Professional Women's Group.
Uh-huh.
And then when they go to meetings every month, they get little coupons that they can go back and shop for additional pieces to continue their wardrobe. I just
That's
think that it's an
amazing.
amazing organization. Erica Mann, who's the volunteer, will be on with us on another show. And then Michelle Artis is the director there,
Mm-hmm.
and she's amazing. So all of that can be found on the workplace website.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. We really appreciate that. And I think we're almost out of time here. Are we? Oh no. Okay, so we have a little bit more time. I just know we have another show to do and the clock is in back of me. That's why I keep turning around.
No worries, no
So
worries.
yeah, that's great
What are
information.
some of
I
the other
love
organizations that? Because I know you personally go and do sessions and you speak and everything, right?
I
About
do.
kind of creating, protecting your assets. What are some of the organizations, some of your favorites that you've gone and you've spoken at?
Some of my favorite places that I've gone to speak and do free seminars on Medicare is probably my favorite. And because I feel like so many people are so confused about Medicare, but I love going to the senior centers. I advocate for seniors. I really do. I love going there, just fellowshipping, talking with them. They're so polite and they're a lot of people just don't take the time
Hmm.
to listen to them. And it's very important to just listen. Not only do I speak, I sit with them
I
individually
know you
and I
do.
just sit quietly and just, shake my head and really really listen to what their needs are. I mean, you have to know some of the questions to ask, but you ask the questions and you just let them tell you everything that they need
And they
because
love it. And then you
one
get to give
day
them a hug and
what
everything, right?
yeah, oh yeah, I do. And I cook for them too. I make like brownies and cupcakes. I'm crazy. So the senior centers are one of my favorite places. But I love everybody. And my second favorite, well, I'm not going to say second favorite, they all kind of are the same, is teaching millennials that may have come from the projects like I did, or somebody's not
Me
leaving
too.
them,
Me too.
a big inheritance, how you can generate your own wealth just through index universal life insurance, setting up a tax-free account. And
Is it
insurance
like a
is,
savings? Like you have to pay into it every?
well, it's like a life insurance, but it has a living benefit and it has a death benefit. Most people think that it's just a life insurance. You only get it benefit from it when you die. That's not the case. Because take myself for example, I don't have a 401k. I don't work for a company. I work for myself. So I have an index universal life insurance plan set up to help supplement my social security, and it's tax free. You take all the money out tax free. I don't want to get into any of the details, but
Listen,
that's
that might
one
be a
of the
whole
things that
topic.
I love doing. I was sitting here telling Jose, I was like, I got to do a show on just, bring in my little whiteboard and
You
talk about
should.
life insurance because people need to be educated. So that's what I love doing, educating them.
I mean, I think that once because we work on membership at the
Hmm.
company, so that businesses that don't have like workings, like they don't work in an office and maybe they work out of their home. So that's
Right.
kind of like we're not like an art studio, we're not that, but people can create. We have sewing machines, we have Cricut, we
I
have
saw that.
heat presses and all of that. So our goal is to be able to have people like you come in once we're up in full membership to provide resources to them because typically a lot of our clients,
Hmm.
our members rather,
Right.
they're small businesses. Like I don't have a 401k now either. I have like a IRA, but
right?
They're not really, you're
They
going to get more by an investment than you are by the savings accounts at banks.
Yeah, they have
But
restrictions and they're in the market. If I'm scared to look at my husband's 401k now because the market's been going crazy.
yeah,
So
yeah.
with the life insurance, with the IULs, all of the premiums that you pay into it and all of the interest that you gain, you can never ever lose it. It's not in the market. It's linked to the market, but it's not in the market. You never lose it. It's like going upstairs. You're always walking up.
Oh yeah,
Never,
I
never lose
definitely gotta have you
anything.
on my show because I think some people are like
They
even in
don't
their
know.
jobs.
Yeah.
Like I really want to be an employer that
Mm-hmm.
really provides like a service.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, I don't want to say an employee, but we do have like a subcontractor that we have them come and do like special projects and
Mm-hmm.
things because I can't afford to have somebody on yet. But
Right.
we are definitely aspiring to
I
that
am free. You
and
don't need to
benefits.
have it. I don't charge anything. I just give out the information.
That's
I
really
do a
great. How do
seminar, I
people
do a
contact you if they wanted you to
PowerPoint.
come out?
Oh my goodness. My cell phone, 203-687-2778. Or if you forget that, just go online and type my name in, Venita Lambert. All kind of things pop out. I was shocked when I saw that.
So you
Like you
looked
could
yourself
type
up?
in my address and there was a picture of my house. So I was like, oh my God.
Listen, nothing is secret anymore.
No, it's not. It's all on the internet. So yeah. I mean, I love giving out information. I answer my phone from anybody except spam. So
You can't even tell spam now.
well, it
I'm
says
like, it comes, sometimes
spam.
it does, sometimes it
Oh
doesn't.
yeah,
And then
okay.
when you answer it, it's like a dead line. I'm like,
Or you gotta wait until when I hear that pause, I hang up.
yeah, me
That's
too.
not a real person.
Me too.
That's not a
And
real
then every
person.
time I get a call from somebody, I save it. So like, if
Oh,
you know
put a
me, then
name
you
to
know
it.
me.
Yeah.
And everybody has my number
Yes.
anyway. But if people wanted to kind of contact, we're still in development of our webpage,
Mm-hmm.
but we do have a landing page for people if they wanted to do that. We have some events coming up to kind of help promote support the organization with
Okay.
our operating fund, so we can hire people, buy more equipment and things like that. So they're called fun raisers, so that we're looking to bring people together to have
I
fun
like the way
and
she
raise a
said
little money.
that.
One of those is bingo.
Fundraisers.
Fundraisers. Because yes, it's fund, but it's fun. Like I
Fun.
want you to have
You want
fun
to have
and
a good
support
time.
me. Yeah. So, and we're gonna be doing. We have. UB has a bowling alley,
Mm-hmm.
so we rented it out to do an event. It's called Network and Roll, and then we're doing a um, women in business networking event that's going to be at our space, and that's
Mm-hmm.
free to attend. It's April 23rd. I'll send you kind of a little flyer with all the events
Okay.
on it.
I should
And
be
then we're
back
having
from
bingo.
vacation.
Yeah, and we're looking to do a monthly bingo. And we're gonna start with a regular one for people to get to know each other, and then we're gonna do a themed one every
Okay.
month, like a certain theme, every month, and you can bring your friends, your family, that kind of thing. And we're having an open mic,
Oh, that's
so we're
fun.
trying to see like what
Wait a
works
minute.
in that
What's
space.
the open mic like? That sounds like fun. Like a
So
singing, a spoken word, or
so
just whatever you feel like.
so the theme is relationships,
Okay.
whether it's volunteering, whether it's your sister relationship, your spouse, your
Okay. I
boyfriend, your baby
see.
daddy. So I had a lady named Tracy Sarpong was my guest on one of my shows, and she sells these like relationship question cards to like conversation starters. And I'm like, she's like, we don't facilitate anything. You just buy the cards and then you can facilitate. So I'm trying to see if
With
I
like
get
your
her.
partner
No,
or
like it will
whatever.
ask you
Just
a question.
oh,
Like,
okay.
like if I asked you on a date, who pays?
Hey, whoever invited pays.
Some people say,
I saw that from 50 Cent. He
some
said,
people
whoever
say,
invites is the person that pays.
well, some people differ. Right? They're like, I don't know you like that, so we
Uh-huh.
gonna go Dutch if this is our first date. Or like, you know, what is too much to overshare on your first date? Because there's people that meet you, like me, that tells you all their business.
Oh, yeah.
The first date.
I don't know. I think that depends on your age. I think younger people are more private, but when you start, getting older like me, like I'm 64, I just Lay it all
Me
out.
too.
I don't care.
I'm like, I got
You
five
know,
minutes to tell you all of
there's
this.
nothing you can do with me that hasn't already been done. Take your best shot.
So I love it. So I definitely
Okay.
want you to be a guest on my
Of
show. I will
course.
send you the information for the
Okay.
event. Thank you for having me on. I just, you know that I love you and I support you to pieces because I love what you do, not only for the community, but for your team too.
Thank
Because you
you.
actually do an annual barbecue where you feed them and all of that. I just think you're amazing.
I do. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And time to me is the most valuable asset any of us have because
Absolutely.
we never know how much of it we have left. So I'm going to leave on that note.
Excellent.
Thank you. I love
Venita,
you.
thank
This
you.
is Venita's podcast, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.